Tank Bits, Armour Pants here. How's it going? Have another tank review if you do need some gameplay. This is the VK3001P, which is a medium tank before the Tiger P. So to go that heavy route, you got to take this medium route on the way. So sort of an off detour on our journey to the Tiger P, which is alternative to the Tiger 1, which, as I said before, maybe two of the best tanks in Tier 7. So let's have a look at it here now in Blitz. So it's a German medium tank, but it does have a very good armour profile for a medium tank. It's very fast, it has a great gun, and this is a tank that you really enjoy playing. The tank, as we said, that we've been coming up the line. We've gone from Panzer 3A, then we went DW2, but there's a branch off to Panzer 4D, then the Panzer 4, and then to this, if you want to go on your way to Tiger P. Now, which is a tank we definitely recommend you get. Now, looking at the gun here, it is 88mm gun. So basically, you've got the same gun you're going to have in a Tiger later on, and this gun is fantastic, right? So, unlike let's say the VK28, which is a 75mm gun, this is the 88mm gun, which is your standard gun on German heavy tanks. But this tank is very, very manoeuvrable. It's very fast. It has good armour profile on the front. It has very low dispersion. It has low aiming time. So the gun is just great. And like all German guns, it's very, very accurate. As you can see, the tank is very mobile. It'll get around the map very well, and you're going to see that in the game that we're going to have a look at next. Just look at the tank's mobility. You could describe this tank as a sort of a heavium in that, or a heavium, in that it has slightly almost heavy armour profile on the front of it, but it has the speed and agility almost of a light tank, to be honest. It's an amazing tank, and it has a great gun, and the gun handling is fantastic, and it's not going to let you down. It has 8 degrees of gun depression, 15 degrees of elevation. So okay, well, it's not as good as, let's say, the British tanks in terms of gun depression. Its gun depression is quite fine, but this armour profile just gives it a really, really great set of attributes that can be used all over the map. As we can see here, looking at the armour profile, look at the angles that you can create with this, and you will see by moving about, I actually bounce quite a few shots off the front of it. Of course, it's not heavy tank armour, but for a tank of its speed and agility, this is just an amazing asset to have as well. Now, what I do when I play this tank is I usually try to use its speed to get around the map, to spot for my teammates, because let's face it, guys, if you're, and we've said this before, if you're in a light tank or a medium tank, your job is to spot up the enemy, right? Your job is not to sit at the back and hide behind the heavies. Your job is to try to spot up the enemies. If you can spot up the enemies before they spot you, and give your heavy tanks targets, then there's a very good chance you're going to win the game, and you're playing as a good team member. As we said before, one of the first lessons as well that you see, Blitz Buddy, is that, you know, it's a team game. You can't win on your own. Despite what Unicum players and all that will tell you, you can't win on your own. You got to be a team player. So that's your job in this tank. So it's good for peekaboo. Front line, not recommended, but it's great for spotting. Hit and run, it's good. Long range sniping is good because of that gun. Circle of death, it's good. And a 1v1 brawl, well, because it has this armour profile and it has good rate of fire, and it has a great gun, it actually does alright. It won't let you down. So there's a whole load of different tactics that you can adopt in this tank, and as you can see from the armour profile, though, you can even get yourselves into a spot of trouble, and it'll get you out of it. As you can see, I actually do get myself into a spot of trouble in this game we're going to have a look at. So anyway, let's roll. Let's take her out and see what she can do. And as I said, keep an eye out for the tank's agility and gun handling in this game. Now, here I am. We're on Mayan Runes. So, as I said, I'm going to do my job for the team. I'm going to spot. I'm going to spot middle. So, what does that mean? Well, in this map, people usually call, let's go left, let's go right. But actually, going left now and then going straight up the middle enables me to spot both sides of the map for my team. So, if their lights or heavies or lights or mediums are going to our left, I can spot them. If their heavies are going to the right, their tank destroyers are going to the right, I can spot them. Now look at the speed of the tank here. I'm going to hit 50 kilometers an hour. I'm just going to go up this hill really, really well. I mean, that's what I'm saying. The tank is so terrain friendly, right? So up we go now. Paid our entrance fee, straight up, top of the queue. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the soft cover here on top of this hill. I'm going to stick my nose over, stick a little noggin over there, have a Google, and see what I can see. And what do I see? Well, I see their stug going across. Now, oh fuck, Jesus, SU-100, get the fuck out of there. Now you see what I mean about that armour? By backing off, giving them an angle, I actually bounce that shot, bounce another shot, which I think might actually be from the stug, I'm not sure. So I've put some damage into them, I've spotted them all up, I've taken no damage myself. And now this guy goes totally fucking YOLO. Now he does smash me, but coming after me in this tank is a stupid idea because the reload on it is so long. Yeah, he got me with one hit, but you know, he's obviously going to die. You know, going front line in a tank destroyer like that with such a long reload is just a stupid idea. So he let his team down there, right? Now this little stug, you might think, why is he running away? Well, in that terrain where he was, and up against me on my higher tier, much more agile, much bigger gun. He didn't really have a choice. It's going to be very difficult for him to get shots on me given the terrain that we were in, and that battleground just didn't suit him. So better to run away, try to reset his camo, and maybe do some damage from the back later on. It's debatable whether that was the right thing or not, but he would have died where he was anyway for sure. So now he still has his gun in the game. And you know, one of the other videos I did about keeping your gun in the game is very important. You can do exactly the same damage with one hit point as you can do with full hit points, right? The gun doesn't care how many hit points you have, it does the same damage. And the stug is a great rate of fire and a good gun, so you know, maybe keeping his gun in the game was the right thing. We'll never know. Anyway, right, that's something for an episode of Twilight Zone or some shit like that, isn't it? Now, as you can see there, just rocking back and forth, I was able to do a lot of damage, put a lot of shots in, didn't take any more damage, kept the enemy spotted up, and I even bounced some shots, and I bounced that massive round, I think, from the T150, pulling back, giving him an angle, shot bounced. Now, coming up here, instead of taking a risky shot, I wait till I'm side on to get my full alpha roll. Now I go here, pretend I'm disappearing, so he loses interest in me, thinks I'm going around. Nice Freddie Mercury round, straight up the arsehole. And I'm going to give him a second Freddie Mercury round here, and that's a Stephen Hawking round, because where his backside was is now just a black hole. And moving on. Now, I've done a lot of damage, I've got a lot of XP for spotting up, a lot of XP for moving around the map, a lot of XP for bouncing shots, so there's a mastery on for me here, and I'm looking at the mini-map and I drive into a fucking bollard, or whatever the fuck that thing is, a grunge. This is a thing, by the way, to note, and this is why you shouldn't chase mastery badges, because I knew there was one possibly here, and I hadn't mastered this tank before in this account, and I was just thinking, yeah, I can definitely get it, and instead of, there we go again, I'm so anxious to get up the fucking hill, I'm not concentrating on what I'm doing, I'm thinking about the next move, or two moves on. So let that be a lesson to you there. Don't get distracted like me, because I could have fucked that up, you know. And at the end I got a bit lucky I didn't fuck it up. But you know, when you're thinking about getting a mastery badge, which I actually did get in this game, yeah, we got distracted completely. I was just thinking about getting the mastery badge and not concentrating at the task at hand, which is shooting that KV and actually driving around that bollard up the fucking hill. But anyway, there you go. So there you go. Good game. I was 2.5k damage, 5 kills. But as we said before, though, mastery badges also come for doing other things, and I got a shitload of XP for spotting in that game. I spotted up nearly all the enemy, and but I can use Brett Kavanagh. He's just pointed out, isn't he? Which I think is refreshing. Actually, I think it's great news, because I think it's always good to have a potential rapist in a position of power. I think it brings a certain perspective to things that we don't normally get in society. So there you go. Anyway, so this is a great tank. Very agile, fantastic gun, great armor profile for medium, great speed, it's terrain friendly, and it's a tank you really enjoy playing. But play the heavies first, get your medium tank skills, and then get this tank in the bank. Alright, take it easy now, cheers, see you now, bye.